All right, take it away.
Okay. All right. So tonight we're just going to kind of go over some of the basics with Success Club and rewards and compensation, volume points. So just kind of go over some of that kind of stuff and rank advancements for a little bit. So first key point, and we've talked about this a little bit in the group, is the Success Club. Basically making it a goal every month to at least hit SC5 as a minimum. And basically what that does is it helps to, for one thing, you're constantly getting new customers. And then those customers are staying on, getting Shakeology hopefully every month. So it starts to build a residual income for you. And so by how to get SC5 is each challenge pack that we sell is worth 2 points. So the Shakeology, if they order Shakeology HD, that gets us 1 point. So any combination of those 2 points for a challenge pack and 1 point for Shakeology HD will get us to 5 for the month. So there is, at SC5, that's like a threshold to hit, and then SC10. So if you get SC5 for 12 months in a row, then you become part of the Success Club 5 Success Club. And then if you get SC10 12 months in a row, then you can earn recognition for getting that 12 months in a row. So it's either 5 or 10. And if you do that your first 3 months in the business, then you can earn what's called Success Starters, and you can earn a free ticket to Summit. So I know some people are already shooting for that. So that's a huge thing, especially this year since all the tickets are sold. They're sold out right now with just a waiting list to get to Summit. So if you're really wanting to go to Summit, that's a great thing to be shooting for, to try to get that free ticket, because you do bypass the wait list if you hit your SC5. And then also for each Success Club point that you earn, you can earn points towards a free trip every year. So this year it's to Cancun. Last year they went on a cruise and they've done Disney. So just every year it's a different trip, but each Success Club point earns you points towards the trip, and you can actually get your trip for free if you earn enough Success Club points towards the trips. So there's lots of great incentives. Not to mention just the commission that you earn off of each sale, but also the bonuses and the rewards and all of that really start to add up. And then also, I'm going to share a little chart. You also earn 2 points for signing up a coach. If they order a challenge pack, you'll get 2 points for that. And if the coach signs up with just a home direct order of Shakeology, then you get 1 point for that. So it's the same if they're signing up for customer or a coach. Forgot to mention that. And then this chart just kind of shows you your residual income, how it just continues to compound each month. If you are signing up 3 customers per month, say you're selling 2 challenge packs and 1 Shakeology each month, if those customers continue to order each month, and then you're adding 3 additional customers, you can just see here through the months how your income will continue to rise each month too. So for your first month, you would be at $129.99. Your second month, you would hit $219.96. Third month, $309. And then your fourth month, you've more than doubled what you made in month 1. So that's why it's so important to continue to add new customers and hit your Success Club each month. Another part of what we should be shooting for, as far as first hitting Success Club. And then the next thing is our rank advancements. So the first rank advancement is to hit Emerald status. And that's all you have to do to hit Emerald is to get one coach on each leg. So it's set up where we have two legs. We have a left leg and a right leg. And you would just sign up one coach on your left leg and one coach on your right leg. And they don't have to be working coaches, even if they're just a discount coach and they're just signing on to get their 25% off. That still counts as a coach. So you can hit Emerald by signing those up, any two people. So it's kind of like a promotion. Once you hit Emerald, then you can qualify for leads. And you get other benefits too by being able to start earning cycle bonuses each month on your sales and the sales of your team. So that's it's great to shoot for Emerald, at least starting out. So you can start getting leads. And what a lead is a free customer that Beachbody will assign to us. So when any customer comes through the Beachbody website, not Team Beachbody, not the coaches' websites, but Beachbody itself, if someone orders from an infomercial or online, they take all of those customers and they distribute them between all of the coaches. So you have to be an Emerald to start getting those leads. So it's a great way to get new customers, and then you can eventually start earning commission from the purchases that those customers make from you also. So when you start signing up your coaches, we'll walk you through. Just let us know. You'll have to set up your placement for your coaches just to make sure they go on the right leg, and you're not putting them all on the same side. Because once they're placed, you only have, I think, 72 hours to move your coaches. So it's better just to get them placed in the proper position the first time around, because it does sometimes get to be a hassle trying to call and switch and making sure you do it within the deadline and all of that. So you do get your free customer leads and then your team volume. And I can go a little bit into the volume. This chart kind of shows it a little bit. But what a cycle bonus is if you have 200 volume on one leg and 100 volume on the other leg. That is one cycle. And when you're an Emerald, for each cycle, you get $14. So you can see on the chart, the Emerald coach is the green one, and then the two coaches under them each have 50 PV. And then the coaches under them, you can see how all of their volume adds up to total 120 on one side, 240 on the other, so they're getting one cycle. So they would get the $14 per week. So it gets a little bit confusing, but after a while it starts to kind of click. So if you have any questions about that, let us know. So a lot of times getting to Emerald, most people will sign their spouse up first because it's a great way to kind of double dip into the volume points. Because for it's best to get them signed up right away, because then everyone that is added after them will be added under them, and the volume from the people under them will be added to your spouse's account and your account, since your spouse is under you. So it's really kind of a way to get double points through your team that you add under you. And so it's good not to wait too long, because then you're missing out on a lot of the volume that you could have added at the beginning. Other ways is maybe like a parent or a sibling, just to get some family members on board with you. And then that's a quick and easy way to go ahead and hit Emerald and start moving forward. Even if they're not going to run the business, if they're going to have Shakeology every month, they might as well sign on as a discount coach and get the discount too. And then eventually, you can build your spouse to Emerald also and get leads through both of their accounts. So that's just another bonus to having your spouse sign up or another family member, because then they can get leads that you can turn into your customers also. So all of your coaches do have to have an active status for you to maintain your rank. And as an Emerald coach, they need to have 50 PV each month. And each item in the store is associated associated a volume amount. So Shakeology is 90 PV. And then each challenge pack has a PV associated with it. All the workout programs have their own PV. So just as long as it's 50 PV for an Emerald coach and 100 PV for a Diamond coach. Okay. Okay, so I think that covers all of the technical points that I wanted to go over. Teri?
I guess I'm muted. Okay, there we go. Okay, do you guys have any questions right now for Nadine or anything she talked about before I jump in? Oh, I don't know how to unmute you, Beth.
There we go.
Or I would. If you just get on the left-hand corner.
I guess I do it myself. Sorry, I didn't realize that. Yeah, Nadine, when you said about, I just missed, I'm sitting here taking notes, so sometimes my thought is behind your talking. When you said about the trip, the Nashville thing, what did you say you have to meet? Is it the 5 or the 10 every month to get your ticket if it's sold out?
Yeah, just 5 each month for the success starters.
And so it would be from the first month that you join and then continuously until when is that, in July or something?
You just need to earn Success Club 5 your first 3 months.
Oh, just the first 3 for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that just gets you your free ticket.
Yeah.
And then we're responsible for our hotel and travel arrangements.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, so I don't think you guys were a part of this call the last time, but when Nadine and I shared information similar to this in October, we were sort of, it's November now. In October, we were a part of the Fall Classic, and I don't know if you guys, they were not a part of that. Is that right, Nadine? Were you guys a part of the Fall Classic? Were you grouped, paired together with somebody to work towards SC points? No? Okay. So in October, there was it's sort of a Beachbody incentive where they do this every once in a while where you sometimes you're in a group of 5. This time it was just you were partnered with somebody. It could be anybody you wanted it to be. Picked people in our downline. We picked people on our team. And typically it's just somebody, you kind of want to push each other to strive for that month. It was SC points. So in October, I paired up with another woman who she's not on our Inspiration Nation team, but she is in she is one of Alyssa's coaches. So she is on the dream team on project, no, what's it called? Not Project Fit Nation anymore. What's it called?
The Royal Republic.
Royal Republic, yeah. And so, and she happens to live close to me. So she asked me if I wanted to partner with her, and I was like, sure. And she happens to be somebody who gets a lot of SC points every month, which I didn't know that at the time, but I was like, oh, okay, sure. So she and I worked together, as a lot of people on our team did, with a partner, and just tried to help each other, push each other through the month, and see, how far we could go, how many people we could invite. Kathleen set up a group for all of us to be in, and had us all kind of write down our goals, how many people we wanted to invite each week, what we wanted our SC to be that month. And we kind of, set our sights high, and, invited more people, probably for me personally, than I had in months prior to. And it was kind of an eye-opening experience for me, because I pushed myself beyond what I ever had done before. And so one of my goals was to, and I'm just speaking for myself, everybody had their own goals, and some, far exceeded their own goals. But I just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about SC points, inviting, and all, how kind of all goes together. And I really never focused on SC points. Of course, we all want to try to strive to get SC5. And that number is just kind of a weird number, but the chart that Nadine put up about, why that is beneficial. And, if you have 3 people on Shakeology, and the next month they stay on Shakeology, and their orders and their volume and everything keeps multiplying, it is a good thing to do. So I've tried to do that, and so far I've gotten SC5 at least every month. So last month, I decided that I wanted to try to invite 100 people a week, which was hard. And I didn't invite 100 people each week, but I got so not each week. I think it was like the first day, Friday, I think it was, the first week I invited 25. That's what it was going to be, 100 people the month, not a week. That's nuts. So the first week I invited 25. The second week I had 25 more names that I wanted to invite. The third week I had done a free group. So I kind of took all the people that were in the free group, and I stuck them on my third week, because I wanted to invite, even though they were in the free group, I wanted to invite them to a challenge, the next challenge, that third week. So I had 25, 25, 25. That was a lot. And I personally messaged all those people, which again, it took time, but basically what I did is I took the exact same message for everybody, and I copied and pasted it. At the beginning I would personalize it, but just trying to get the word out about this challenge group and what we do. And it was short. And I did get a lot of responses back. Some of these people were people that I, were friends with, or kind of friends of friends. Some were complete strangers who were in my free group, which, I think I only got one of them to join. And then some were just people that were kind of always hanging, but never committed to a group. Some I hadn't talked to since elementary school. I was just like, I don't care. I'm just inviting anybody and everybody. And it was amazing how many people actually responded back. I just kind of had to bite the bullet, and I was going to do it, and I did it. And so I kind of wanted to start out by just giving you that whole background. So last month, I got 22 SC points, which for me was very high. I gave my husband 5, I believe. Karen, she was my success partner in all of this, I think she had 20, I want to say 28, so as we were kind of talking back and forth to each other, she had, SC5 on day 2 of the month. And I was like, what are you doing? How are you doing that? I wanted to know what she was doing, because the prior month she also had 20 SC. This month she has 18 or something. So I've asked her a few times to to come on a call with our team and share her secrets, because every month she is tapping into, this market of hers, and all of hers are coming from Facebook. And some of them, they're not complete strangers, but they're people who, like, she knows, their friends know her, and then it's like a third friend, and she's been doing it for almost a year as well. So she's been in it for a while. But I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about how this all gets started, because we've been doing this for a while, and, our names are out there a little bit more, and people know that we're doing this. And so some people, they know, like, oh, maybe I can talk to her now about it, even though 6 months ago I didn't want to join a challenge. So sometimes it's a little easier if you've been out there for a while, but when you're just getting started, you kind of have to start at this base. And I'm just going to kind of tell you, like, what I did and what most of us have done from the very beginning. So, they say that this whole business is a business of relationships, which, it is what we already, you guys, you know that. And so whether you're, I'm sure you have your list of friends, and we've talked about that. And then you have to even dig deeper and get your friends of friends, and, grab those, I think they're like trigger, memory joggers or whatever in the 7-day quick start. I've done that before. And, like the mailman, the people that PTA, or your mom's friends. I mean, I asked one of my mom's friends, and I was like, I need to think about her, and then she asked one of her friends. It's hard. Sometimes you don't even think about some people, or, you see a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and then you're like, oh yeah, and her friend and her friend. So, the list, my original list that I started with when I first started, I mean, it was probably like 50 people. And I didn't have that many Facebook friends, those have multiplied. So you just have to kind of keep going further and further, and finding out who those people, you can reach out to, who may not be coming to you. You have to go and ask them. And again, I went through all the same things that everybody goes through. You don't want to sound salesy. I do not have a background in network marketing at all, sales background. So I didn't want to sound salesy. And really, I remember Kathleen saying, to be salesy, it's almost kind of like an excuse, because we're not salespeople, and we didn't want to sound salesy. But if you're just sharing what you're experiencing and how it's changing your life and things like that, it shouldn't sound salesy. You know what I'm saying? It should just be like you sharing what has worked for you and why you want to share it with others. And, just kind of put that feeling behind it, and they'll know, that you're genuine and trustworthy, and you're not trying to pitch a deal or anything like that. So I never really felt like I sounded salesy when I was inviting people to the challenges. And I think, if you do those things, it's definitely more comfortable. I did worry about rejection, people saying no. It tugged on me a little bit. But again, I learned not to take it personally, because some people, it's just not the right time for them, or, they definitely come around. There are people who have said no to me repeatedly, a couple times, because I do go back to those people. And then for some reason or another, they're on board, 6, 7, 8 months later, and come back around. So never write off those people. And I always continue to keep them on my list. And I just kind of write the last time that I invited them, and sometimes I don't even invite them. I'll just check in, to see how they're doing, and not talk about Beachbody at all. Again, just kind of building relationships, especially to people who I think may really benefit from this, or this, just for health reasons alone. I kind of want to stay connected, just to sort of, keep that relationship going, whether they do it or not. I think it's important. So let me see what else I have here that I want to share. And again, I think we've talked about this before, just kind of building relationships without the intention of really inviting them to anything initially. I loved Facebook even before Beachbody. And I mean, I, got into groups with, my old elementary school, and I was in a group with my high school. And, if you get on those pages, and last month in October, I even invited to a free group. I went to my high school page where, there's all these people, alumni from, years and years and years that I just invited to a free group. And I did have a bunch of people I didn't even know, who happened to go to my high school, join the free group. So different things like that you can sort of tap into. I know one of my sister-in-law actually went on to, she lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she went on to she was in the Raleigh Moms group, and she asked whoever was in charge of the group if it was okay if she sort of posted an invite to one of her free groups, because they really weren't supposed to be selling any, personal business things on the site. And she said because it was free and it was, they didn't have to buy anything or purchase anything or commit to anything, that she could do it. So she did. And a whole bunch of women from that moms group came into our free group. I know for sure one, I believe one, I'm not sure. Maybe even more than that. She'd have to tell you, signed up for a challenge pack. I'm not positive, but just that they, they kind of experienced that 5-day free clean eating group with us. And through that group, we invited everybody to a 21-day fix challenge, and they kind of saw what we do and, heard about Shakeology and things like that. So, things like that may work. So I guess, when I talked last month about this and what kind of impacted me and why that month was so beneficial. One, I just kind of worked my butt off. It wasn't by chance. I know, I run a small family daycare out of my home during the day. And so during the day, I can't really do a lot of Beachbody work at all, unless everybody's sleeping at the same time, which doesn't happen often. So I would work, at night from like 9 to midnight, just whether it was inviting or getting back to people. We did a free 5K group. So like making a template for that and kind of putting time into that, took time. So that was one thing. I did put a lot of more time into it than I had, prior months, just because I just kind of wanted to challenge myself, and I didn't want to let my partner down, who, every so often she would like ding me and tell me how many SC points she had. And I'd be like, oh no, I still have 0. So we kind of tried to, help each other out. And so let's see, I also, I think planning and strategizing is key as well. Like I said, it was nice when we had that goal sheet out in Kathleen's Fall Classic group. And now I just kind of do it on my own, which I think it was good to see that. It was a good template to see, like, how many people are you going to invite this week, or for the month you could even do, what is your SC goal this month? If you got, I think, Beth, you have like 12 or something this month. Is that right? Somewhere double digits. If you can do that this month, can you do that? Can you do more next month? So I'm always like challenging my inner self to try to keep getting, and not, the points don't really matter to me, but like the fact that like you are helping, at least 6 people, with this opportunity. That's amazing. 6 people a month, so it's definitely incentive for me, to try to reach out to those people. And I know it's the same for all of you who are involved in this. That's why we are all here. Planning a free group each month, I think is great. Let's see. I also, so at the end of our free group, I always ask, people to invite friends, or at the end of one of our challenge groups, our challenge group would end and then a new one would happen like a week or two later. And so it wasn't necessarily 21-day fix people who happened to go into the new, program, or, do another round of it. But, there were some people that happened to end the one challenge, and they asked like an aunt, a sister, and a cousin to join them in the next challenge because they had such a great opportunity. So I always say to them at the end, of a challenge, did you enjoy the challenge? I do message everybody. Is there anything you would change? Is there anything, like, what did you learn? What was, and even though we do ask that on the board, some people are not as apt to share those things with everybody. So I do like to personally message them and ask them personally. And then I also say, here's when our next challenge is. You are always welcome to be in any challenge and join this next challenge. And it's a whole heck of a lot more fun if you have people join it with you. If you have friends or if you have family members who you think this might benefit, ask them. And which is also a great opportunity to introduce the coaching opportunity. Or, just the, discount coach. If you ask, two friends, they can sign up under you, and your Shakeology for the next challenge, or at least the next month will be paid for. So I always try to do that and remind myself to do that at the end of a challenge. And always try to have like another challenge, which is the case, how we plan, a week or two after, so that all those things can happen. And so let's see, using, obviously Facebook strategies is helpful too, posting testimonials and Transformation Tuesdays. That month, I also offered at the very beginning of the month, I asked any people on my Facebook page if they wanted to, I kind of took a picture of like 3 Shakeology packets, vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And I just said, I put a post about Shakeology, and then I asked if anybody wanted to try a sample, and if they did, to contact me, because I just got all these samples in. And I don't do that every month, A, because I just don't always have that much. And B, I just don't want it to seem like it's, a free-for-all for anybody. I kind of want to make it, it is expensive, and I don't charge people for my packs because maybe because I don't do it as often. But I just feel that, most of the packets that I have given away for people who've asked me for a sample, they have ordered. They really have. And so I feel, I kind of get all that back. And I don't know, I just have a hard time charging somebody $5 who just kind of wants to try it. Some people don't, though. They're totally fine with it. And I'm sure people would pay. I don't know. That's just me. So anyway, I posted, a whole bunch of people wanted samples. And, a couple months ago when I did the same thing, I didn't get as many takers. So I think I sent out like maybe 15 sample packets of Shakeology. Again, that was like a lot for me to do that month. I was like finding addresses and shipping them out. And for me to try to get to a post office is really difficult during the day. So things like that, it was hard, but it definitely paid off. And many of those, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but many of those people either ordered a challenge pack, because if they were interested in Shakeology, there's always a challenge pack that's on sale for the month, that maybe $10 or $20 more than a bag of Shakeology. And, you can tell them, what a great deal that is, and why it's beneficial to get a program along with it, and then invite them into a challenge. And so I did have somebody do all those things, but they didn't want to be in the challenge group. One day, maybe they will. So that was beneficial that month as well. I did get some people who wanted to jump in and get Shakeology. Let's see. I guess just kind of, In closing, inviting is key, and whether you're doing it, on your Facebook page or just kind of talking about a challenge group, that's all great, and people see that, and they kind of like the consistency of that. But I feel where everything kind of is those personal messages that you give to people, because you would feel the same way too, and so taking time to do that is great. And even if you're doing it like 2 nights a week and that's just what you're going to do, just message people or invite people. I like to do it on Fridays, and as sad as my Friday nights are, Friday nights are my inviting nights if we don't have anything going on. And I just like to do that because I feel like over the weekend people have time to sit down and look at Facebook, and they're more likely to see my message over the weekend than if I do it like in the middle of the week sometime. So I don't know, that's just my thinking. It may not be right, but so let's see, I've had a couple other things. There have been months where, and I have, the last night of the month, and I know this is happening for some people as well, I have SC4 and I am trying to work my butt off to get one more point. And it is tough. I think this month it is tough, especially with the holidays and everything. But it does take time and persistence, and sometimes you're talking to people for months before they really decide they want to go in and do this. I think I wrote this down. Some people during the month that I had been talking to, one person said no initially. One person was from a clean eating group, the people that had joined my SC points. 2 months ago, they were in a free group. 3 were from Shaky Orders when I put that on my board. 1 I got from my blog, which I don't really get anything from, but I happened to email everybody our web address, and I think there was a blog post on it, and she happened to see something and she asked me about the program then. 4 were from referrals, so people who had been in my challenge group prior to, and they, invited somebody in, but they didn't want to be a coach or a discount coach, so they had their friends go through me. 1, I posted about the Les Mis Combat and Les Mis Pump, which I just posted about it because I bought it and it was a good deal that month. And somebody else who I never would have thought of does Les Mis at her gym, and she was like, wow, I didn't know Beachbody did this, and so I was kind of glad that I put that post up. I wasn't going to, and she bought the Les Mis challenge back. I never even thought of her. So sometimes when those specials come up that you're like, I don't really want to invite anybody to Insanity Max 30 because I don't know anybody that will really do that program, and I don't want to do the program. Sometimes you just put it up, you never know who's going to come out of the woodwork, and somebody that might be a program for them that they speaks to them. So Les Mis was something that month that I wasn't really going to really kind of promote, but did, and somebody came from that. 3 of my SC points were from old teammates that I had in the past, and I just asked if they wanted to join in with me, and they did. And 1 was my aunt. Relatives are always good. So, you just never know. I've had many, many no's, or not now, or not the right time, or I'm hurt, or it's too much money. Can I just join a free challenge? And I keep those. You should keep all of them. Don't write them off. They will definitely come around, and many have. I'm sure if you ask Nadine and Kathleen and those who've been in the business for a while, they do come back. And I think Nadine was just sharing a story of somebody, it was like 8 months or something, and she finally, decided to try. So yeah, I think, just the whole inviting process sometimes can be a little bit scary and daunting, but it definitely is very important. And even, again, you don't have to put a whole lot of thought and time into each invite, which for me for a while, I was trying to change every invitation. And even though I was saying the same things, it was taking a lot of time. And so I just took time to really make a good one invite that I could copy and paste, and share what I wanted to share. And, at the beginning, I would just kind of, personalize it a little bit to whoever I was inviting. So I think that was it. I talk a lot and fast sometimes. So if you didn't catch everything or anything, holler. Or if you have questions, go for it now. Because I think that's all I had to say at this point.
I had a question, Teri.
Okay, shoot.
When you do the samples, when you send out your samples,
Oh,
do you send anything
hold on,
with
you just
it?
froze.
Okay. Do you send anything with the samples when you mail them out to people?
Yes. So I didn't do, because I didn't have these stickers. I know Kathleen puts little stickers on her. See, I have it right here. I'll show you what I put. One thing I learned is I had these envelopes originally that I sent my Shakeology samples in, but they cost a lot more money to send, which I didn't think that they could fit in these, but they do, just a regular envelope. And you can even fit two in here if you put one here and one over here, and it's pretty cheap. So I put one in, and it's, I think, just 2 stamps, but I obviously all those things you can write off. So I put in a Shakeology sample, and then I'll show you what I did here. Hold on a second. I took all of these, these things that you get in your Shakeology box. Okay, so I have, depending on whatever flavor they picked, let me just take out this vanilla one. I just made copies of the calendar, and then down here, you can't read it, but I kind of took out the picture that was down there, and we have a copy machine, so I just put, for more recipes or more information on Shakeology, visit, and I put my Shakeology web address. So it would be www.shakeology.com/ whatever your screen name is. And then I put my blog or my website, and then I put my Facebook page on it as well. And then I put what my favorite recipe is using that, which for vanilla and chocolate, it's the same. So I put our favorite recipe and how to make it on there, because sometimes I just feel if you just give somebody a packet of Shakeology and you don't tell them, I personally don't like it if you just drink it with water and shake it. I think it's gross. And so I don't want anybody else who, may fall into that to write it off as gross. So I give them my yummy, shake recipe. And then I also I made a video of me making the recipe, which is horrible. The video is horrible, but, so it's on my blog, and, it just kind of directs them to that. So I just send this in there with them. And then I put like 2 business cards in that I have. And I think is that it? I think that's all I do. And then I just write a note on the back of this real quick and tell them, I'll get back to you in a couple days. Let me know what you think of it. Try out some of these recipes, whatever. I'll just write a little note. I don't know. Does that sound like that's okay? Do you do it differently?
That sounds good. Yeah, that's similar to what I do. Normally just put business cards and
Okay.
or a calendar.
Okay.
But that's good how you put in your website and all that. I hadn't done all of that.
Well, I was just thinking I know Kathleen puts stickers on, like right on this, bag, right, Kathleen, which is smart. I have not done that. And so, as they're ripping it open and pouring it in, and they see your, Shakeology website and they love it, they can just like go right to it and order it.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, I just love to do that.
Have you posted that on your like page or just your personal page?
You mean the Shakeology samples?
Yeah.
Well, I think I did it on both, but when I posted it on my personal page, which I don't post a lot of Beachbody stuff on there, or try not to as much, that's where I got all of the interest. So, and I'm not sure. I didn't do it on my Facebook page this month at all, and I think I did it that month. It might have been like a couple days earlier, but yeah, on my personal page is where I got a lot of people responding to it. So,
Okay.
I want to try that too.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I'll have to try that.
Yeah. Anyone else have any questions for us?
I got that idea from the video, the Tracy Morrow one, the summit, it's a Shakeology, the how to share Shakeology video. It's really good. It's a half an hour. I'll find it and post it if anybody wants to watch it, but that's how I got the sticker idea.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's good.
It wasn't original.
Where do you get the business cards?
We ordered them from what was it called?
Vistaprint.
Vistaprint.
Mm-hmm.
And we can even post samples of what ours look like in the group.
Okay, that would be great, because there aren't just standard ones, huh? Is this something that you made up, or?
Well, you can make them up. You can make them up as however you want. I kind of copied my little template from somebody else who was in our group. I just kind of liked how it looked. It was a lot easier than coming up with everything on my own. But you can just take like images and make it as you wish, and this makes it really easy to do that. So.
Okay, if you could post a sample, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thanks.
You can order them through the Beachbody Coach website also.
Oh.
They just cost a lot more.
Okay.
So that's why I went the Vistaprint route. And plus they're more colorful. I think the Beachbody ones are just the blue and black and white, and you can put more content. You can customize it more with the Vistaprint.
So this is like the back. Ooh. All the different programs, although Pio's not on there. And then I think I got this from Nadine. Nadine, doesn't yours look like this?
Yeah, I got it from somebody else, of course.
Okay. So, yeah, it's pretty, but.
I like how that looks. How do we copy that?
I'll send you the image, because I just had the image, and when you go into Vistaprint, you can upload all the programs. It's on one little square. You can upload it and just use it for the back of your card.
Okay.
And then that nutrition, what is it called? This part, the nutrition support and fitness, like this is an image you just copy and stick in there. This up here was an image, and then you just type in your information.
Okay.
Looks great. Thanks.
I don't know. Do you guys how else, Nadine and Kathleen, do you use your business cards? Like, have you ever just been like off the street?
Yeah, I haven't done, well, I guess the other thing that I've done is I've done 2 5Ks where I had a table at a 5K, and so I handed out business cards that way, which that was, I don't know, for new people, it was great, but it's a lot of work. But probably the biggest, what do I want to say? The biggest way to get people coming to your table is to have samples, like real samples that they can actually drink of Shakeology. But that video I was talking about convinced me to do stuff like that, because there's some statistic in that video with, it's Tracy Morrow and Denise Needham, I think. But anyway, that if people try it, actually try Shakeology, then like the chances of them buying it go way, way, way up. So it just seemed like it was a pretty, and I'm actually just tonight with, which is why I'm sorry, I'm sort of back and forth because it's the last day of the month and all that. But anyway, this person, ironically, that I'm just signing on as a coach now came from a random 5K that I had a table at. So anyway, so I had it at my business cards at stuff like that. But I'm not, for better or worse, I don't hand it out to random people in the grocery store, but I know coaches that do that who are very successful. So it just seems, I did give one to somebody who cut my hair though the other day. So it just seems worthwhile having something like that available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kathleen, can I ask you something about when you set up that table?
Yeah, of course.
Salesperson in me, has done things like that before, but
Yeah.
my company's money's been on the line, not my personal checkbook.
Yeah.
If you're there, did you actually invest into bags so you had something to sell on the spot, or did you actually make it tedious and they had to, register and order? And did you have a form that they could give you their information and you would order it for them?
Yeah, so good question. So I'm certainly no expert and don't come from a sales background, but so the way the first one I happened upon, so our upline, Melanie Metro, who's like number one, whatever, she couldn't do a 5K, and I happened to see her post. We live in the same neighborhood. I responded first, I guess, or whatever. And that's how I got to do the first one. And it was not an event where people were going to be buying stuff. So it was a 5K. Nobody was bringing their wallets, whatever. But she kind of gave me some guidelines, and then, which was just basically it was an information collector. And so I did a little raffle, and they had to fill out their name and their email and their phone or whatever. And then like just from being at the table, like just chatting with people, tried to kind of figure out who were the real prospects and who just wanted something for free or whatever. But I tried to keep an email list, and this particular woman who I was talking with tonight was one that was very interested from the start, had already heard about it, just needed a way to order it or whatever. But so anyway, so I did not sell anything on the spot at all. I just collected information and then followed up with people.
And when you said you had samples, you actually had a blender there that you mixed and you gave little sample cups out, or are you talking about packets?
Well, yeah, I actually had little like Dixie cups that they could try right there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that part that's why I'm saying it's a lot of work, because there was no electricity. This was an outdoor event. So my husband and I got up very early and made like a ton of Shakeology and then transported it there and tried to keep it like cold, you know what I mean? So it was, we did another 5K like that had electricity, which made it a lot easier because we could kind of make it as we went. But this one we actually ran out. The first one we actually ran out of it, and people stopped coming to the table when the samples were all gone. So anyway, it's one of those things. I think if you get in the groove, it could be really a good turnover. But it just takes a lot of work to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions, ladies?
Nadine, can you just share, because I'm so excited about it, that app you're talking about?
Yeah, let me go plug in. I've got 1% left here on my laptop. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll start talking about it. So Nadine we were chatting earlier because I've had some people who have had some issues with signing up and like going through the process, and I've given everybody in the past like this 5-step, like go to this site and then click on this button and then click on this button and whatever. And Nadine was like, have you ever tried the Beachbody app? And I said, no, what the heck's that? And so it's basically where you can enter in the information. And anyway, go ahead, you tell them, because I don't know about it yet, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, I had never used it before, but I saw one of the other coaches talking about it actually on the morning wake up call a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then at one of the events here in Dallas. So I had heard a couple of the higher ranking coaches talking about it, and I've been wanting to try it. And I tried it the other day on someone who had an old Beachbody account, and it didn't work. So if they have to transfer to you as their coach, it won't work. But if they're a brand new customer, or if you want to sign them up as a coach, you can do it right there from the app. And all you need is, and I had my customer on the phone tonight, and I said, okay, all you do is you do your regular login, like you're logging into the Team Beachbody website. And then it asks you for your customer's email address, their name, and then an optional phone number. So I had her on the phone and I said, okay, what's your email address? I plugged it all in. I knew she wanted the PIO Kickstart Challenge Pack. You just choose the challenge pack that they want and then whatever Shakeology they want. So you're basically setting up their whole order for them. So I put in the bag of Shakeology. Then you hit submit and it sends them an email. All they do is open the link on their email and then they put their payment information in and they're done.
Oh, wow.
It's so simple, and it's, people get hung up a lot of times. They get lost on the website and they can't find stuff, and it was great. I was like, I don't know why more people don't talk about this.
So how do you
Really
find
simple.
it, Nadine?
Huh?
Like, how do you find, it's not really an app, is it? Like, is it an app that will?
No, and that's, I think, why I kept getting so confused about it, because you have to go to a website. You have to open your web browser on your phone,
Okay.
go to this particular website, then it downloads it. You can't get it in the App Store.
Okay.
It downloads it directly to your phone, and then once it's on your phone screen, then it's there all the time.
Oh, okay.
And I'll put the link, I'm going to post the link in the group later.
Okay.
Wait,
And
sorry.
Go ahead.
Once you have it on your screen, wait, how does it stay there?
It's just like a regular app. Once you download it the first time, then it stays there like a regular app.
Oh.
But it's just the whole process of actually opening it instead of going to the App Store to buy it or download it. It's just from a website instead.
So what does it say under the app once, you know, like on your phone? What does
It says TBB Coach.
Oh, okay.
And then it has the logo, the Beachbody logo.
Oh,
Bring
okay.
something up on here because I'm curious, Nadine, what will Kathleen or Teri might say to you about the experience. I can't see Diane's face, but I assume she's still on here.
I'm here, Beth.
Okay. We ran into something this weekend. Fortunately, she was down for Thanksgiving. And so we got to work on some things this weekend. And two of the things we worked on were clearing up. As you said, the site is challenging for some people to navigate, especially people that aren't as savvy with computers and so forth. So I really like the sounds of this. I'm sure Diane likes the sounds of this. As much as we can do for our customer to make it easy for them, if they just have to click on a link and pay, sounds fantastic. But I was doing, as Nadine had trained me, and it was working fantastically for those people who are good with the computer. I would send the link of, correct me if I'm wrong, Nadine, Beachbody /
Beachbody Coach.
Coach / Beth Hilderhoff. And I would give them directions with that and say, okay, when this page opens, all you have to do, look in the right corner. You'll see an orange bar, I think it is, that says Challenge Pack. Click on the Challenge Pack, go in, click on 21-Day Fix Challenge Pack, then choose your shake. I try to make it very explanatory, as Diane did as well. Some people are just better with this stuff than others. But all that to say, we spent very much time on the phone, called Coach Relations this weekend. We're on the phone an hour and a half to fix one of these, which I found to be absurd. And then told to correct the other one by calling back and not calling Coach Relations, but calling the regular customer service. And we waited on hold longer till we got someone for that, but they were more efficient at fixing it. But what disturbed me with the first call, regardless of it taking long or whatever, and I'm thinking that maybe we had a rookie on the phone as far as customer relations, just like ourselves. However, he told me that we are not to be ordering through that site, that all orders are to go through Team Beachbody, and that is what causes the problem with trying to make adjustments and corrections for our customer. And then we posed the question to him, well, if we're using Team Beachbody, maybe this is a simple question, but we don't know the answer. How do we get that person to be, with our order, like say it's their first order? And he said, well, all you have to do is give them your coach name and number, and they order it. And as soon as that is set up, he said they put their information in and asked, do you have a coach or something like that? And that was, so he told me this lengthy process that he had to go through. And for instance, one of the people of Diane's customers had ordered 21-day fix, but missed the challenge pack part. I thought it would be really simple to just add a shake. Well, that was the secondary call, and it was simpler than the first, but it still wasn't simple, because he said, well, there's this process because you didn't use Team Beachbody that we have to go back and we have to credit this back. Then we have to wait 2 days for this to post. And then we go back and it was just a very inefficient system, in my opinion. And thank God we didn't have the customer on the whole time and called them, because as a customer, I would have been majorly turned off. So this app sounds like a way to go, but have you all ever heard this information before of using the Team Beachbody site instead?
Yeah, I know. I feel like this has come up just recently because we were asking the same thing. I think I saw one of the other coaches posting, a post on her page and having everybody go to sign up on her Team Beachbody page. So I asked her personally about it, but she never did answer me, why she's putting Team Beachbody and not Beachbody Coach in, because I've actually accidentally given people the Team Beachbody Coach page to sign up, with their challenge pack.
Yeah.
And they could not do it. Like, it wouldn't process, it wouldn't go through, and they kept telling me, like, this website isn't working well. And then they would reply, and they were using the Team Beachbody. So I would say, oh, no, that's the wrong one. You have to go to beachbodycoach.com. And as soon as they went there, it would go through fine. They would have no problems. So I've gone away from using teambeachbodycoach.com, and I didn't even think you could use it to order through. And I did ask in our one group about that, like why people use it. And I think Kathleen was saying, when you do use that website, when they go to your page, the first thing they see is like your profile and your story and everything. And
well, I like that. I wondered why we set that up, and then our customers not seeing that unless they go further into the page. I think that is a good selling feature.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. It just becomes confusing. And then I wonder if somebody else commented on that, if maybe they're making some kind of change. Maybe they're being trained. Maybe they want this to process through a different way. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just very puzzling. And, like I said, it was working fine with what Nadine had instructed me to do and y'all in the group, until we ran into this. When there are problems, it seems like it's much more difficult. Well, according to the customer service gentleman we spoke to at when we ended our call an hour and a half later, he said, this wouldn't have been like this, had you used Team Beachbody. And if we use that site, is it Team Beachbody and then the backslash and then your name, or yes, so they're all set up that way? Yeah,
It's the same.
okay, because I never use that. I was always just using the other, and then I would use that site to look for myself, but that doesn't allow them access, I guess, because they don't have our password and username. They don't see all the other things that we see.
Right. Yeah. And I've had trouble, like I've had things like that you've gone through, that you just went through, going through the beachbody.com, whatever coach site. And there've never really been like a big issue switching things over, so maybe it was kind of both problems with either whoever you were talking to, or maybe, like you said, they weren't as familiar with the process as they should have been. But I don't know. I'm still puzzled on that. We're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it was like Beth said, it was a total inconvenience, and I would have been really upset if I had a customer that had to do that instead of Beth and I intervening on the part of our customer in order to do that. As it was, we had the customer on the cell phone. We were on the home phone, speaker phone, and then I had the customer on my cell phone on speaker. So they're talking back and forth to the customer service person so that the customer service person can hear that we have the actual customer there. But it was just very long and drawn out. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. But you know, the customers were very patient and they understood, and of course they wanted their transaction to be correct on their credit card. So of course they're going to stay there on the line, and they were very gracious about it. But I think that something needs to be done about how that, you know, that part of the transaction, if a mistake is made, how that's handled, because that was very it was absurd to put it, you know, bluntly. It was just too long, and I wouldn't want a customer to have to go through that. And these two customers, like Beth said, some people really aren't very computer savvy. So the app that you're talking about, I totally concur with that being the way to go, because the two people that I had, they weren't computer literate enough to be able to navigate how they were to go in and make their purchases. And so they totally screwed them up. And so we had to go in and unscrew them up, make them challenge packs, so forth and so on, because they saw 21-day fix and that was it. And it wasn't the right thing. And so I think all of that to say that I think that this app that you're talking about, I think that that's really going to make things more simplistic.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so too.
What a hassle. I mean, good for you guys for hanging in there. And thank goodness, like you said, it was you and not your customer, because gosh, that sounds so frustrating. An hour and a half, my goodness.
At least she sold 2 challenge packs out of it, but you know, it was painstaking.
Sounds like it. That's awful. But yeah, it sounds like the app maybe could really help all of us, because yeah, I mean, I didn't have that long drawn out process, but 2 of the people tonight for me were just back and forth. I had to get on the phone and whatever. And if we can cut out some of that, that would be amazing. All right, ladies, let's wrap it up. We're actually after 10 here, and I know everybody has stuff to be done. It's so good to see you all.
Yeah, good to see everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to you all too. Hope it was a great weekend and week and all that. And tomorrow, December 1st, woohoo, new month. Have a good night, everybody. And you know what, actually though, I do want to say really quickly, if you have any interest in writing up a little bit about your experience, I'm happy to try and pass it up the chain to see if we can, you know, make some more changes, because another coach on our team also had a very frustrating experience tonight, and she was on hold for 2 hours or something back and forth, and it was just awful, it sounded like. But I also encourage her to do the same thing, because some of the people higher up on our network have more of a direct line to coach relations and to corporate. So if you're willing to write something up, I'm more than happy to pass it up the line so that we can help them understand how frustrating it can be for our customers and for ourselves. Just an idea. Okay, have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Bye.
Good night.